Hello,
KKK
everybody.
rallies?
How dare you? You know that they're a popular hip band, the kids.
No,
like.
I know. I've heard of them before.
I've never heard of them.
No,
Black
you
Rebel
like them.
Motorcycle Club?
Yeah.
No.
They've been around.
Hi, everybody. We're here. This is Chris Franjola is sitting. This isn't. This is Sarah. Chris
Right.
Franjola is sitting.
Yeah. Hi.
and
I'm
Leah's
here.
over there.
I'm sitting in for Josh Wolf because he is doing a Shark After Dark.
Shark After Dark on the
Live
Discovery Channel.
On the Discovery Channel.
Yeah, you guys can watch that after you watch this.
Right.
And that
I think the Black Rebel Motorcycle Club came because they knew you were playing the song without paying them royalties.
That's right. That sounds like it outside. That was, yeah, see, we've been playing off my shuffle, or whoever's shuffle, we've been taking turns, Chris, and usually what happens is a Luke Bryan song comes up.
Yeah.
Like, my shuffle hates me. It just I have a lot of fucking music on there.
Right.
I mean, it could be worse than Luke Bryan for sure, but it's always a country song, and then so I'm excited that Black Rebel
I know you
Motorcycle-
love country music.
I do.
I know. But there's a lot of country, I feel like they have an award show every 3 weeks, some sort of award show.
That's true.
And I feel like there's no more like real country guys. I feel like everyone's self-tanner now.
There are
There's
a lot
of
awards.
self-tanner going on. It's Luke Bryan himself.
I think he's just tan because he's out in the
Tim McGraw. I mean, when did he become an old woman?
He does. He looks like an old lesbian.
Yeah, he really does.
And like he's like he and Faith Hill are starting to look alike.
Yeah, which is what happens to people. I think when you're married for so long, you morph into kind of each other.
So you think if I didn't have to murder my cat last fall, I would start looking more like.
Yes, that's probably it's probably best that you did. Put him down
because it's after a certain amount of time. Do you know who Tim McGraw is, Lee? Right?
Yes, I don't think I've heard his songs, but I know who he is.
Yeah.
I like to say
he used to be like a handsome man, and he's like he stopped. I tell you, when people stop drinking too, like
and then
sometimes
they start working out.
Yeah,
and
they like
too jacked up.
replace the addiction with another, and then there's no more. He needed a little bloat in his face.
And he's like one of those weird guys who's like 60 and jacked up. I don't think that's supposed to happen. I think you're supposed to. I don't know. It just looks strange.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think things look weird. Do you think that's what's going to happen to Josh Wolf?
Yes, it's already had. It already has.
I see him with like a smoking jacket, singing
smoking jacket. Are you
singing
kidding?
in a lounge.
We should be so lucky.
Yeah, no, it'll be like a jean jacket.
Yeah. I like to say about Tim McGraw, cowboy hat on, he really looks like a badass cowboy. Takes the cowboy hat off, looks like a Radio Shack manager. Doesn't he? He really does look like just a regular guy.
It is true. He's like, he used to be so good looking.
Yeah.
He was in The Blind Side, wasn't he?
Yeah. That's the one where he just looks like a regular guy.
Yeah.
And he was also in the movie version of Friday Night Lights.
Oh, okay.
You remember that?
I didn't see it.
Oh, man, he was the dad, and then he like kicked the window. Why can't you hold on to the ball? Why can't you hold on to the ball? And then he took his hands and taped them around the ball.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, he's done some acting. He's
not bad.
No, I mean he's fine.
Remember when he did a video with Nelly?
Yes.
Oh, find that song.
That was the thing that they were doing.
Over and Over.
Yeah, but there was a couple of country and hip hop were like crossing over.
Well, Nelly won't stop doing it because he did it with Florida Georgia Line, and it's the fucking worst thing that's ever happened.
Florida Georgia Line they look god awful to me. Those two guys.
They're
everything
sleeves.
I hate in. They look like every guy in a what's that shitty chain of like restaurants?
Applebee's.
No, like it's like called Dick's. Johnson's or something.
Oh, Dick's Last Resort.
Yeah. Okay.
Where they make fun of you.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
I in my head. I think about it over and over again.
Oh, I can't
stop picturing you with him.
Oh, this song's pretty good.
And it hurts so bad. Oh yeah, it's pretty good. It's not bad. Now that I think about it.
I think you just got transported somewhere.
Wow. I was looking to make fun of that, and I fell in love with it. I can't say a bad thing about it. It's
We're going to
pretty
listen
good.
to that in my brand new car on the way home
That was
tonight.
pretty good.
You got a new car?
I did. I went today. Well, I had my lease was up on my car, so I just went and got basically the exact same car but a new one.
Oh, okay.
So 3 years. But this one's red. What do you think about that?
I've always heard that cops pull over red cars more. I don't know if that's true.
I actually said to the guy selling me the car, I said, don't cops pull people over in red cars more? And he was like, no.
If it's driven by a black guy, yeah.
Right.
Is it just something our moms told us to like?
Well, maybe, but then Jen Kirkman told me that statistically red cars driven by men get in more accidents.
Okay, yeah.
But I think I don't know, maybe it's because it's like flashy, but I feel like as long as I'm not I mean, I just, I don't drink and drive anyway, so I should be fine.
I don't think it's I think you'll be fine.
Yeah.
You know what the number one color car is right now?
What's that?
Silver.
Is it?
Yeah.
How do you know that?
I just read it the other day because I have a silver car. And
Wait, I thought yours was black.
Stay tuned, everybody, for more fascinating facts such as that.
Well, I will say that I had like a silverish gray color and then I almost just got the exact same one. And I got red, and now it kind of made me feel like it looks like an 80s car. But I mean, it's a BMW.
I have a black one, and I'm never getting another black one. My mom told me not to get one because it's so hard to keep clean.
Yeah, that's
and I was like, but they look so cool when they're clean, but that lasts for like 2 hours.
Yeah, and then they're just dirty.
But the 80s is coming back, so look at all those girls who look horrible in those high-waisted shorts this summer.
Thank you.
Oh.
Yeah.
My girlfriend was like, I want some of this.
No,
and then I
no.
saw some the next day. I'm like, that looks awful.
No, I know everybody out there probably thinks they look good in them, but nobody looks good in them.
No, because they do a weird thing. No matter how, I mean,
the
like if
fupa.
you're really, really thin, maybe
Not even.
but maybe they don't make your like. No matter what, you have like a weird. Even if you're
Yeah.
skinny, you have like a weird stomach thing happening in them. But like, so your girlfriend, she doesn't have any though, right?
No, because we were both going to the gym, and she was like, when I get down to my goal, I'm going to buy a whole bunch of those because I think they look great. And then we saw some, I think, that night. And I was like, is that what you mean? She's like, yeah. I was like, those
No,
are
it's
terrible.
like they go up to your ribs. It's
I
not
know.
even where you're supposed to. Also, I have a real problem with people wearing crop tops now. So there's a lot of Taylor Swift. It's happening a lot.
Yeah.
Katy Perry. They're like wearing the half shirt and then like a skirt.
I've always wondered.
What is that?
Like,
Is that the crop top's half shirt, right?
It's like a half shirt, and then the skirt though that goes up above your belly button, so you can only see like this much. But it's still like what's.
I don't know. I just
Do you like that? If you saw that,
I'm trying to think of the look, and I can't picture anybody in it. But I think I do like it.
I'm gonna be able to Google image.
Yeah, see if you
that
can
for
find a
real quick.
Google image somebody in that outfit.
I'll just get Google image.
But don't do like
Taylor's-
Taylor Swift is going to look kind of good in anything, right? She's a 6 foot, skinny, annoying singer.
I just think all girls should wear yoga pants at all times.
I don't go for those either.
Why not?
It doesn't look good to me.
Oh God, I maybe it's just me at the gym. I'm crazy, but every time I see yoga pants, I'm like, wow, that looks amazing.
I mean, she looks good. Yeah, but there's a lot of people wearing those that shouldn't be.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's so you know
Hey,
who
guys,
you know who wore
please
that?
see that.
Mary Ann from the Gilligan's Island.
Yeah, exactly.
Always wears
That's-
crop
doesn't
top like that.
doesn't the stomach get cold? I would think it would.
Well, that's a good question, Lee. I don't know. I mean, I think you're right. It seems like it would get cold.
Girls used to wear that when I went to high school, but it was like not like the crop thing, but it was like kind of like the shirt just ended. It was like kind of skin tight, and it just you were supposed to wear it like basically from the belly button to the pants were open.
Right.
And I always used to think that their stomachs would be really cold.
Well, that's a practical thing to think about, I think. It's not a lot of stuff. It's a weird, I don't know, I have a problem with it. And mostly because fine Taylor Swift, I guess she's young.
Yeah.
But then I see like 40-year-old women doing it.
I have not. Yeah,
and that's a problem.
Do you like yoga pants?
I like yoga pants. I think you're right. Yoga pants
take
look
it
good
easy,
on everyone.
perv. Jeez.
She has a boyfriend that could kill me.
Yeah,
So
that is yoga pants.
Yoga pants do look nice on anyone, I'll say, except for men.
have you seen men wearing them?
I have to disagree with both of you wholeheartedly that yoga pants do not look good on everyone, and I can prove this. Go into any Walmart throughout the country, and you will see yoga pants not looking good on a lot of people. I was just in Tampa, Florida, and great.
I'm sorry.
It was I actually really enjoyed it. It was a nice town, but there was some yoga pants situations that shouldn't have been happening in Tampa.
Okay,
Florida.
you're right. Yeah, if you go to Arkansas,
Right,
I
yeah.
love my hometown, but there's not. Yeah, but in Los Angeles for the most part, people wear them correctly.
Yeah. So
Because they're
anyway,
assholes, and also they wear them to like Whole Foods and stuff. How is Tampa, Florida? Tell us about Tampa.
Tampa, Florida it was a nice town. I've never been there before. I've actually never really even been to Florida before. I did one time a long time ago. It was kind of an island off of Florida.
Oh, you
so
did
I've never
that.
really
What's
been
that
to
place called?
Side Splitters in
Yeah.
Tampa, Florida. How was it? It was really nice. It was good. It was humid.
Did you lay out by the beach?
I did. I went to Clearwater Beach, which was beautiful.
Oh,
very
that
white
sounds nice.
sands, and it was nice. And my parents came.
Oh.
And they came. We went to the beach together.
That sounds fun. You and your parents went to the beach together?
My parents, yeah. They're wonderful people, but they are still going, unfortunately.
Do they get is it like, oh, it's now why are we sitting in the sun too long? Does it get like that, or do they just enjoy it out there?
No. Everything is a complaint there. My father's either driving too fast or too slow, and he's missed a turn, and anything he says is wrong. Like he'll say, for instance, this is an actual thing. he's selling a truck. He's got a big pickup truck, and he's like, everybody wants to buy it. And my mother goes, not everybody. I'm like, well, just let him say everybody. I mean, I'm sure it's not everybody wants to buy it, but you get the idea.
He doesn't mean every actual person in the world, right?
So, so every
what if he was right,
second,
though, and everybody did want to buy it?
Every second is something like that, just being corrected or something. So, anyway, but they were there, and it's nice. It was nice to see them. And Tampa's a great town, and everybody was wonderful. But it was what's the thing? A fetish weekend.
Oh.
It was fetish weekend in Tampa, so there was a lot of every 6 different hotels were having fetish balls. So it was I swear it is like every city I go to has some sort of weird porno thing going on in a hotel.
Do you ask to be scheduled around
I didn't. People are beginning to believe that I do, but I just happened upon fetish ball, which, by the way, is nobody you want to see fetishing is that even a word? Each other.
Right.
It's like normally people you're like, oh, God. And then they're like, yeah, but I like eating feet or some shit. Yeah.
And you're like, that's her one nice features or feet.
Right.
Yeah, like everything else is
and it's
terrible.
like really weird. It's not just, like I like feet. It's feet. Like, while I'm eating feet, I like you to shit on my face.
Do you see any fluffies or what are they called?
Yeah, there was all that.
Wow.
There was a.
Oh, because it's for any kind of fetish.
Any kind of fetish. It was fetish weekend, so it was just all people who have any. You name the fetish.
Well, so fluffies are the ones that were characters, right?
They wear the
stuffed animals.
The mascot costumes. Yeah.
Is it fluffies? It's not fluffies. It's something else.
I think
it's like fluffies.
I think fluffies wear the.
Yeah, fluffies is the comedian. He's what's his name? The Latino guy, isn't he fluffy?
Costume.
Maybe, but I don't think. I know who you're talking about. I almost
Gabriel
said
Iglesias.
Yeah, I almost said Julio Iglesias.
Yeah. Furries.
You're right. Okay.
Furries.
Okay, you're right. It's not fluffies. Okay, it's furries. And they wear They were like stuffed animal costumes.
Yeah. So there was, and I guess Tampa.
And how do you get your dick through that?
I think you cut a hole in it. You have it's fully prepared already. So, or maybe you don't even get your dick. You just rub yourself on the area that would be like a dick on, Wile E. Coyote or whatever you're into. I don't know.
I think it's like all animals though. So it's like, it's like.
No,
characters.
Yeah, characters. So
wouldn't you just have your dick wherever a coyote would?
But I've been in those costumes before for like other things, and your dick probably doesn't. Other things. Your dick doesn't come out of it. It's not tight fitting. There's usually a big thing in the front,
right?
Like a duck bottom or whatever the fucking.
Have you heard about this guy in Germany or?
You said enough already. The guy in Germany.
I don't know if it's in Germany or the article I'm looking at is Germany, but maybe it might be somewhere in America. There's this guy that they're trying to put a law against having sex with animals. And this guy wants to keep having sex with his dog. Have you seen that article? It's been all over. He just keeps wanting. He has like a sexual relationship with his dog, and they're trying to outlaw it, and he's getting all pissed off about it.
Isn't it already illegal?
Yeah, not in Germany.
Let me try to, because the Germany article I just found was from 2 years ago, so let me try to find the new one. But
I mean, that's not something you want to be known for fighting for. Like, no, I'm really in love with your dog. You're not. You're in love with your dog. Your dog doesn't have a choice, and you're fucking ew.
That depends on the dog, I guess.
Well,
some are cuter than others.
That's true. Some are cuter than others. But what other kind of fetishes do you see down there?
Oh, I didn't actually go to it, but afterwards there was a lot of like people at the bars and stuff, and in their fetish gear.
So you don't even change. You just like walk around all weekend.
Yeah, the people were really proud of it. If you go into the fetish bowl, you're not hiding it anymore. You're out in public, and a guy I kind of know wrote me on Facebook, and he's like, I'm coming to Tampa this weekend. We might go to your show. And I thought this guy was like a legitimate business kind of guy I knew. And I was like, oh, what are you going to be down there for? He goes, fetish ball.
Why was he telling you?
Yeah, that's weird. But I like I said, once you're at that point where you're just happy about it. You're not hiding it.
It wasn't like he was a reporter or something.
No, he was fully like into, I don't know what his fetish was, but
you didn't ask him?
No, I didn't want to get into that. He's
like, I happen to have a...
Yeah, like I said, it's nobody who you want to see fetishing each other.
No. Well, that's so for those who are listening, don't go to Tampa on whatever weekend in August.
Yeah, August.
Unless you want to get your...
And then Tampa in August is like fetishing. It's so hot and humid. It's like 104 degrees. So anything is, you don't want to.
No, I was going to say that's...
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't want to...
Feet?
Yeah, I know.
104? No. Come on.
Or even just even a pussy at 104.
I don't really... I've done some things, but I don't have any fetishes. There's nothing... Like it seems to me like if somebody pitched me a fetish, like a young person, like girl goes, "Hey, I would be like, that sounds like way too much trouble. Like, can I shit? Like, I feel like the shitting is this
No,
weird?
that's fine. This is what we're here for.
But I feel like, do you go in the tub and shit on me, or do we do it on my bed? Because now I feel like we fucked up the entire bedding.
Yeah, I would hope if it's on a bed that they there's some, towels to be laid down at least. I would hope. I mean, I don't know.
Sounds like you have.
No. I've laid a towel on my bed before, but after being at the beach because I don't want to get sand on it. So that's how unfetishy I am. I don't even want fucking sand on my bed.
Yeah, that is pretty unfetishy. Yeah.
So I can't imagine that you'd be like, oh shit on my white comforter.
I always wonder how you get the
the
first pitch, like the first pitch of a fetish. Like, how do you get to the point where you're like, hey, are you into this? Just kind of asking it.
I have always wondered how you cross that line because that's a pretty big request.
Well, I think with the internet now, they don't have to do that. They probably just are all dating within a message board.
Oh, you go on it
they just automatically know. They're like, yeah, you're into this. So.
And I guess it's like a place like the Fetish Ball, at Tampa, you would just go to that and go, oh, we're all into the same thing.
What if you want to get married or something though? Do you really think you're going to find your wife on shitonmychest.com, or are you going to be able, you know what I mean? Or how do you get if you meet someone you really like and then you're like, how do I say to you that's what I like? If toe up my ass or whatever it is.
And I don't know if you guys, but
now the somewhat sad at the thought
the
of
shitting on your chest, is it just the thrill of it actually just being on there? And do you rub it in? I don't know.
I haven't done it in so long, I forget.
Yeah. Wait, I forget. It would be hard for your girlfriend to do that through those high-waisted shorts.
Yeah. Oh, she could just do it right out of the bottom of them. Just peel them aside.
Oh, Jesus.
Wait, I've always wondered with that, is the fetish is the person being pooped on.
Yes,
right?
I believe
it's
so.
It's not the pooper.
I guess either one could be a fetish, but it's probably harder.
If you have a shitting fetish,
it's probably harder to be the.
They must at least like it. I don't think anyone's doing it against their will.
I don't know why I always go to shitting. I'm sure there's other fetishes. I always go to shitting as the one.
I know. Well, that's because that's the one that's most.
Yeah.
I like when I was young and I used to call it taking a grumpy, not on anyone's
that would
chest. But going number 2, it sounds so much nicer.
No, it doesn't at all. It sounds 10 times worse. Taking a grumpy?
Yeah, I don't know.
What does that mean?
Instead of taking a dump, I would say taking a grumpy.
That does not sound better at all to me.
It does. It sounds better than saying taking a shit. Ugh. That sounds so.
Well, I think maybe you just added that little bit.
And those aren't your only 2 options: shit or grumpy. You could have went with another one, poo poo or some, caca.
Yeah, so now all I can think of is take a grumpy on my chest. I don't know. Anyway, I don't think I do. But I don't know how they find each other. I mean, I don't feel like my boyfriend, if he turned around and was like, hey, out of nowhere said that, I think I wouldn't do it.
I believe as a single guy, there is things are leaning more toward fetishy, with younger generations. I feel. I don't know why. If it's internet,
I think it's the Tinder and it's the internet. Kids watching the porn.
Because it's more accessible so you could see is this too dirty? But all that gagging and choking and shit on
that's
dicks.
Terrible.
Yeah. No, well, calm down. It's not terrible. I don't know if I'd call it terrible.
In porn, the girl pukes on the guy's
I know,
oh,
but
God.
That's what porn is now. In the 70s or whatever, porn was just a little, look at the now it's every girl is, right?
No, it is. And I think I think I've already said this before on the podcast. I won't really, but I think that's why girls screaming and stuff.
Right.
Because I don't think, you don't really act like that.
No.
You don't really, I've never had an orgasm where I'm like, ah! Ah! That's
it sounded like you were taking a grumpy right there.
But that's what they do. And my theory is you should not sound any different than you sound if you do it alone. If you masturbate, you make that noise, then go ahead.
I totally agree.
But it's all for show.
And also, if you live in an apartment, it's all right, calm down. There's people above us and below. Listen, I know, I'm good. I'm not that good. Calm down. Just don't go too crazy.
It's because I think they're watching and they think they have to act like that. And then the suck it, and the violent. That's not how I learned you're not supposed to do that.
No, I know.
You're not supposed to hurt yourself.
That was actually an issue for me though when I first started having sex, because when I'm alone, I don't really make noises by myself masturbating. That's kind of weird.
Right. No, and you shouldn't.
But I had girls
it's kind of weird that you just told us that.
Yeah. But I had a couple girls get mad you're too quiet. I mean, I also dated horrible people, but
that's part of it.
But I had to like train myself to like start not being overly loud, but saying anything.
It is. There has to be a little. I mean, I don't. If you're too quiet, then you're kind of like, is this person okay?
Yeah.
You know, like,
but then when you throw out just one line, just to say, it always sounds so cheap, like you're so tight, or like, oh, that's the worst. Tight. It's tight. There's nothing worse. Does any girl go, oh, thanks? I don't know what
I mean, it's not a bad thing to
hear.
Yeah,
I know.
It's better than being like, I can't feel a thing. Like, I wouldn't want to hear that.
Yeah.
No, but I like, you throw out a little nice. I mean, it's nice. I think guys like to hear it. You say to a guy, like, oh, nice cock.
Nice dick on you.
Something like that.
All right.
You could do a little talk. But yeah, I don't think they're going over the top. And I don't think people should be. So girls, if you're listening, don't choke on
No.
penises.
No. I disagree with that. Like, don't stop these young people from choking on penises. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm saying that I believe it seems to be more prevalent than it was when I was younger.
Yes.
I seem like now it seems every girl does the choking thing.
Because you used to have to like pay to get on a porn site and stuff, and now you could just go on YouPorn and have. I mean, have a nice morning for yourself or whatever it is. So right before breakfast.
Anyway, that's the
get it on your iPhone.
That's my porn rant. I guess.
Okay.
That's the way I feel about it.
Okay.
I do enjoy the whole new, like choking, like the hair pull. All that is a new thing. You got to do it. You have to.
No, only to like young girls though.
Yeah, exactly.
Like younger. I mean younger, but
yeah.
I don't mean young.
Yeah, like
not. I mean, like in their 20s, like mid-20s. I feel like girls.
Yeah.
Because I don't really need
hair pulling.
I don't really need anyone to pull. If you pull hair on girls now, you're gonna fucking get a handful. It's all extensions.
I know.
Well, that's actually kind of like the fetish thing. Like, how do you find out? Like, choking isn't. It's kind of a fetish, but it's not as creepy as shitting on somebody. But like, I've always wondered, like,
that's an easier one to
how do you
sneak up
broach
somebody.
the choking thing?
I think you start slow. You just see the hand on the throat, and then you put a little pressure.
Yeah.
And then they think you're murdering. Like, you don't do the first time, I'm assuming.
I don't.
You can sneak it in there. I've had that done to me in the
there.
past where you sneak it in. It's not too. But if it got a little too intense, and I'd be like, "This isn't. You're killing me." I wouldn't. You don't want that to happen. But it is a way you have to work it up because how do you ever know? I mean, it's kind of like with a finger in the butt.
I just feel like
how do you have to do like a move, like a scooch around, like, hey, here's my asshole.
I haven't done that move. Who knows?
I feel like the asshole's really become. I mean, it's been shown more now because of like cell phones and selfies.
Yeah, because you can actually get a picture of your own asshole now.
and whoever would have thought they would see. Like, I don't think I've ever seen my asshole ever yet. Still, to this day, I don't think I've ever actually seen it.
I've never, no.
So, but I've seen.
I mean, I've never seen yours either.
Thank you. Yeah, but I've seen people will send pictures of it just.
Oh, girls send you pictures of their asshole?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No problem.
What's the angle they get on that? I don't know how
you could go.
Is it just the asshole?
Like, here, can I even? That would be.
Okay.
Now, if I sent you this would be my asshole.
So now, but you get the vagina in there.
Yeah, you get a best of both worlds. Whatever you're.
You don't want to spread it too out because then you get too much vagina.
Yeah,
you don't want to
just no. It's I guess it's. I don't
know if you want. I guess it is cell phones because it's not like you ever took like a Polaroid of your asshole.
No, God.
You didn't wait. I was gonna say shake it off. Wait.
Your face didn't look good in Polaroids. Can you imagine what your asshole would look like?
I'd love to see it slowly coming in.
Do you think that's how the iPhone got developed? Somebody was like, I just need something I can get a nice shot of my asshole with.
Can I get an asshole shot quicker? It's just too much time.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that is. I don't think sending the pictures to me is a tricky. It's a tricky one.
Anyway, so
okay.
What are we talking about? Robin Williams.
Oh yeah, I was going to say let's talk about Robin Williams. From this is a great segue.
Yeah, right. Great segue.
Everyone knows obviously that Robin Williams killed himself. Very sad. I think it's one of those things that's strange because you don't know the person.
Right.
But I found myself like I actually cried, and then I was like, this seems a little narcissistic because I didn't know him, and he has family and all this, but I didn't go on TV and cry or anything. They actually they asked me if I wanted to go on. Like,
they did. They asked me on E! News.
Yeah. Like, oh, do you want to come and talk about him? I was like, no, because that's not. I didn't
I know. I felt like
I met him once, but we weren't buddies. You know what I mean?
Like, and then I felt like I would be like capitalizing on it a little bit.
Exactly.
Like,
That's what I think.
I'd love to be on TV to talk about Robin Williams.
Yeah, exactly. That's the kind of thing that I think is.
I'll do
weird.
it on a podcast, no problem.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, because we're just talking about it as like comedians and just like everyone did it on, and just people who were like fans of his. Like Lee said, what you were watching Inside the Actors Studio.
Yeah, I downloaded it today to watch it today, and it was. I've always been a huge fan of him. And like Hook and Mork and Mindy's amazing.
Oh, it's the best. I watched The Birdcage last night, and I swear to God, that's one of the fucking.
Oh my God,
it's one of the funniest movies
I've ever seen in my life.
And not only
I've
is
never seen it. I'll have to watch.
Oh, you have to watch. You'll laugh your ass off.
It's like nonstop laughs.
It's nonstop laughs. Nathan Lane is actually. I mean, at the top of
Hank Azaria is hilarious.
Hank Azaria is. I was about to say is the funniest part of that when he's like, he's hilarious in it. He plays like their gay houseboy. It's a complete thing.
Great.
It's a role you would never see
on TV.
It was from La Cage aux Folles, the Broadway musical. They made it.
You said that correctly. Good job.
Oh, I've seen it many times.
But everyone takes to Twitter and stuff because that's what we do now. We just all like express, like, oh, this is, your grief, or you're like, oh, this was somebody. And I like one of our listeners, a buddy of mine, this guy Shannon. He actually sent me a screenshot of someone who wrote to Robin Williams after he was dead. This is what I was wanting to talk about a little bit, like fucking Twitter again, how people can be awful. And it said, "You're a terrible actor. I'm glad you died, you piece of shit." Right? They wrote it to him. Oh. And obviously, he's not reading that now.
No.
But unfortunately, like, I don't know. He has kids, and they could be scrolling through his mentions because they want to see what people are saying about their father, and like, and then they have to scroll across something like that.
Well, that's just somebody looking for.
Of course, just a moron, internet troll, piece, like terrible person. But I'm like, what? Like, I don't understand. You have to think about that stuff. Like, people are so disconnected from emotions now that they're like, oh, I'll just go on and say something awful because he can't read it, or people who go on his page will then come yell at me and that'll be fun. You don't think about like his family and stuff. They don't want to see that kind of shit.
Did you see all the other ones, all the real heartfelt ones that said Robert Williams?
No.
It's amazing. There's thousands of them.
Stop it.
Yes. Look, put in Robert Williams into the search on Twitter, and they'll all pop up. They'll say like, he was my favorite. My favorite comedian. Robert Williams died. There's hundreds of them.
I'm putting it in right now.
Robert Williams.
Oh my God.
Do you see him? Are you seeing him?
This is hysterical.
Yeah.
RIP to hashtag Robert Williams, and will always be forget that. Anyway,
this person's hysterical. Problem. No offense to Robert Williams, but it's a shame that because a celebrity commits suicide, that suicide awareness starts to get raised.
Robert Williams.
Anyone calling Robert Williams selfish or a coward is insensitive and ignorant to what depression. I like that person calling someone ignorant. I loved Robert Williams. He was a great actor. These are amazing.
I mean, that is America right there. So don't you find that just people are just so stupid? You don't know who Robin Williams is? I mean, there's kind of really no bigger star in the world.
And also, if you don't know who he is, right? Okay, but he's still doing. It's not like as if he stopped doing movies 20 years ago. Like but even if you don't know, if you don't know who he is, why are you even tweeting about it? If you have no clue.
You're that upset about it, you didn't even know his name.
This is my favorite one. Can't believe Robert Williams choked himself to death. So people should be like, who's Robert Williams? Is that a friend of yours? This is amazing for our listeners. Have yourself a nice time if you want to. What was your favorite Robert Williams movie? People want to know. I wish I could read these people's.
I loved Robin Williams. Robin Williams was great. As a comedian, like all of us comedians, he was like one of the. And we've lost a lot of comedians over the last couple of years, but I mean, he was like a lot of people say that he pretty much created like club comedy. There was before the Comedy Store and the Improv were around in New York and LA, but he was the one who really brought it to the forefront of like going out to a club to see a comedian. He was the first one who kind of really did that.
Yeah,
he used to do in the 70s. He would do the Comedy Store here, and it would just be an event to go see it. Every high-powered person in Hollywood would go to a Robin Williams show at midnight or whatever.
Robert Williams. It's Robert Williams.
Excuse me, Robert Williams. Yeah.
And I know a lot of comedy nerds before he died were not always huge fans of his stand-up, but he always made me laugh.
Yeah. Well, he's so people are always saying, like, he's always on. Definitely, like I think for some people they were like, it's too much or something. Like, he had so much energy, but that is also he never did. He was never off because he always had something funny to say.
And he was also a stand-up, which is very rare, who went into movies huge movies, big time movies. I mean, I don't know anybody who's done that as successfully as he has, crossed over doing both comedy and drama. I mean, even Jim Carrey hasn't as successfully.
Well,
as
maybe
he
you've never
has.
heard of a little show called Battle Creek.
Was
But
it Jim Carrey's
no,
in that?
I'm kidding. No, I was talking about myself.
Sorry.
I was
sorry. I was gonna say, is that a
talking about a crossover?
But that's coming out, right?
Yeah, I'm just. I'm joking. Yeah, no, definitely, and like huge dramatic, like Dead Poets Society,
right.
and then
Good Will Hunting,
Good Will Hunting
and
is
the
one of
Wake
the
at
best.
Fisher King. He's great in. Plays like a.
with like your take on this, because a lot of people are doing that. What is it? Todd Bridges was interviewed, and he was TMZ interviewed him, and he was like, it was selfish of him and this and that. And I think I think that's the first answer a lot of people go to with suicide is like, oh, it's selfish. But that I know, I'm like, I have to close this. We're talking about Robert Williams, and I have this Bunny Ranch menu. By the way, I'll read the menu to you guys in just a little bit, because Lee and Joey Diaz had was it the owner of the Bunny Ranch?
Yeah, Dennis
here on their podcast last night. So we'll go through this menu in a minute, and it'll lighten things up. But
no, but it's I had someone really close to me attempt to commit suicide, and then there were 2 or 3 kids within my brother and my high school graduating class that have committed suicide, and it's just terrible. And then, like, your first instinct, if they're close to you, is like, I wish they didn't do it because I'm going to miss them. But then, like, you have to think they must have been going through something terrible.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, I know that when the people go to selfish, like, imagine being so. I think people in that despair, I think that the world's going to be better off without them. They think think they're doing the world a favor by taking themselves out of it. Like, that's the only. I think, because I don't know. I've never been. I mean, I've had a couple, shitty nights, but I've definitely never been so depressed I'd consider killing myself. So it's obviously an illness, but I think it's the opposite of selfish. I think you're actually thinking you're doing everyone a favor. Kids are going to feel like it's selfish if your parent kills, of course, because you feel abandoned and you're going to have fucking, it's sad. But I read all this stuff about him having financial trouble.
Yeah, well, he did. He had gone through 3 divorces, and I guess in California that's half and half. So he was
right, or 2 divorces, I think, right? But then he was also still
maybe he was married to his third. Yeah, okay. But he apparently he'd lost a ton in his divorces. I heard $60 million or something.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, so that's what I read this morning. I don't know if it's true now, but
well, I know because you think. I mean, the man had to have made so much money in all those movies that he's done. So then, and I read that he was like just taking parts because he had financial trouble. But then I think, well, you're just exaggerating your financial trouble. But no, I guess
he talked about it on Stern or something. He said he did that CBS show that he just did. He said, I'm doing it for the money. I'm broke and I need the money. That's why I'm doing that. Whatever crazy ones, whatever.
And then do you still have to give half of that to other people too?
I think you
forever,
do.
Right?
I think you do forever. It depends on the deal you made, but in certain cases, you do have to give it the rest of your life.
Can you imagine being one of those ex-wives though now, and then reading that he might have killed himself over finance because they took all his money? Like that must be a kind of a fucking mind.
I mean, obviously there's more to it.
Well, no, I know, but I'm just saying, like, there's no. I'm sure that's got to be like a weird sort of mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think it's strange. Like in the case of Ron Williams, his daughter went on to Twitter last night and wrote a tweet. I just think it's weird that people run right to Twitter. It seems like an odd grieving process to go. My father just killed himself. Here's a letter to his fans.
Yeah, I actually was curious about. I was wondering about because I obviously like for people who didn't know him to go on there and like, oh my God, he died, rest in peace. I love this movie.
Yeah.
People like kind of. But for family to go on, it is sort of strange. I mean, listen, you have no idea what someone's going through and what their process is to get to that. I'm not judging any.
Did you see the last thing he tweeted was about her?
Yeah. It was really a beautiful, like a photo of her when she was a baby,
She just turned 25 last week.
Yeah, brutal.
It's you're right. I mean, who knows? Maybe you're just going through all sorts of weird stuff.
But I just wonder if that's, much like choking on dicks, if that's just sort of what things have come to when you're younger.
True.
Like now, that's what we go to. We go right to Twitter, because
I feel that way about Ronan Farrow. Do you follow him on Twitter? It's Mia Farrow and Woody Allen's kid,
right?
Apparently, and he always goes on Twitter and talks about my father molested kids, and I'm like, well, is that the way you go about it? Like, on Twitter? You make jokes? He was actually making jokes about it at one point.
Really?
And I thought, that's kind of odd that you're making jokes about your sisters apparently being molested by your father.
Yeah.
And you just did a joke about it.
I mean, I guess it's like public, but then I wouldn't want anyone tweeting about my molestation.
No, I know it's very odd.
Just so everyone's
but I guess,
clear.
like you said, maybe that's just the new way people do things. They run right to Twitter and say, "I'm grieving," or "I've been molested," or "I want to choke on your dick," or whatever.
Or maybe you feel like pressure too. I know, like his wife immediately said something. His ex-wives haven't said anything. I don't know if his son said something. Maybe you feel pressure too, or maybe maybe at 25 you're just like, that's your outlet now. I mean, who knows? I mean, I'm not 25, but I don't. If your girlfriend got a pair of high-waisted shorts, would you go to Twitter and complain about it right away?
Oh God, no, because you'd see it.
Oh, that's
but
right.
You'd probably commit suicide. And then
sometimes people, and there's been some of it where just because it was Robin Williams, a lot of people go to Twitter just because it's the thing to do and be seen, and like no one really cares when someone else commits suicide. But like sometimes I think people are doing it to be just because they feel like they have to do it. But like everyone loved Robin Williams. It's like no one can be really negative about feeling sorry that he died.
That is pretty true. I mean, I don't think there's a comedian I can think of that's pretty universally kind of beloved than he is.
No, and like worldwide. I mean, like obviously his movie. I mean, especially from like
maybe Steve Martin.
Night at the Museum.
Yeah.
Like definitely. Yeah, Steve Martin would probably be like the only other
right.
One I could think of. But like, and worldwide, like in other countries, obviously people see his movies. Kids see his movies because he did movies for RV and whatnot. Wasn't that like a kind of a kids movie?
And the other thing is now what a lot of people are saying, and maybe you can attest to this or not, is that comedians seem to be more apt to commit suicide than regular people, which I don't know. It's just more out there because they're famous, I think. I'm sure the suicide rate is as high as don't hear about that.
Well, I know. Well, that's because I just before I left, I heard somebody coming on the news to talk about that, and she was saying, but I don't hear the statistics or what her psychologist. She's like, but comedians are more, and I always hear that people are like they're more apt.
Sad clowns or whatever.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's not. I didn't get into comedy because I was like,
but
miserable and jilted. Or
I'm the same way.
I feel more miserable and jilted now that I'm in comedy.
Yeah, ever spent 3 days in Tampa
with eating someone's
right?
foot?
Yeah, yeah. But it's like, I mean, maybe there is, but I think it's the same way in any field. Like if I worked with 400 people at a UPS factory, 35 of them would be depressed, and the other ones wouldn't, and some guy would be a little maybe commit suicide. Who knows? But I don't know if it's just because they're comedians that they're committing suicide.
Well, because there are a lot with addiction problems. Like we know, quite a few who have
Geraldo.
Yeah, Greg Geraldo, and
recently the heavy guy.
Panette.
John
yes,
Panette.
John Panette.
Yeah,
people. It happens. That happens a lot. But I was actually speaking to at one of the when I was in Buffalo. Beautiful Buffalo. It's another place you can go if you want to. Maybe you can try to kill yourself.
That's suicide capital of the world, I think.
No, I liked Buffalo actually, but I was talking to one of the club managers or something, and we were talking about how I was like, I guess because I drink and stuff, but I don't really drink that much when I'm performing. I know when I very first started, I was like, sure, you can get drunk, and then and I've said this before, you just can't. You have to fucking work. But there are people that they're just doing blow in the green room and just pounding drinks before and after they go on. Yeah.
Who are these people?
That's what I'm curious about. But now I know who some of them are, and I can't say. But I just am like that. What? Why is this? But I guess it is because it's almost like musicians. There's just no. Your hours are fucked up. There's no. Is that why? Is that why you think that you can just, or is that why it becomes easier? Or are people with addiction more prone to want to be performers? I don't think so.
Do you think that same guy, whoever it may be, do you think he would have been a cokehead drinker if he was working at a regular gig?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
The same guy.
I don't know. But it wouldn't be as easy. You certainly couldn't, get away with it as you can. I mean, comedy clubs don't really go, you can't, they're just...
I don't know how you can. I mean, I'm
not saying that cocaine was happening in Buffalo. That sounds like what I'm saying. That's not what I mean. But I just mean in general, we were talking about how people party their asses off
And in the case of in Tampa this weekend, I did 3 shows Saturday and 3 shows Friday. if I was fucked up on coke, and I don't know how you would do it. I mean, I
might need coke to do 3 shows on Friday and Saturday.
A 6, an 8, and a 10.
Oh, jeez. 6?
6, and it was the best show of the night, on Saturday at least.
Packed?
Packed.
At 6 o'clock.
It's Tampa. They were dying to get home.
So, that's true. But there is it will you go on at 7 then almost? Like a little before 7, 6:45.
A couple people, doing their bit.
I always think comedy is so weird when it's still light outside.
I know, but luckily you're inside the club. But we were done with the show, and I went over to Chili's and still made the extended happy hour, which was right across the street.
Well, that's a fucking win.
So talk about wanting to kill yourself. I did the 6 o'clock show at Tampa, and then went to Chili's in between the 6 and the 8. So
I just want
now
people,
I know.
I just want people to know that it's not glamorous.
I just answered my own question of why comedians commit suicide. I just answered it.
And then you had 2 more shows to do.
Yes, and then you have 2 more shows, an 8 and a 10. Yeah.
Did you have the queso at Chili's? Just real quick.
I've been, a lot of times if you go outside of sounds like a stupid thing to say, but New York and LA, it's pretty much just chains for the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Don't you feel
in a lot of, yes.
Yeah, in a lot of markets, especially around comedy clubs. Where
not
comedy
in a Philly or a but definitely
but
in
it's,
these smaller.
you got your Chili's. So you have to eat at them a lot because it's the only show in town.
Yes.
So I'm trying to find the lesser. I would listen. If I could sit and eat queso my whole life, I would fucking love it. But every now and again, I take my shirt off for a lady, and
so she can shit on your chest.
Yes, exactly.
Because you're not going to fuck up your shirt,
right?
So everyone knows that you're definitely going to.
Yeah, but I would love. So I get some strawberry, spinach salad or something. Which is
that sounds lovely.
It is. They have it at Applebee's, and it is kind of nice.
I think they serve those at Wendy's or something.
Yeah,
too. Got something for everybody. It's rough, but I mean, that must be why so many people. I'm always surprised that many people just party their ass off.
Now, do you also think that okay? So you've been in the game stand up for a long time, but you're headlining now for about 5 years, right? Pretty much. And but that wasn't your main source of income. You were with Chelsea lately. You were whatever you did before
bartending.
That. you weren't really a headliner at that point.
No, not at all. Yeah.
So it's never been your main source of income.
Right.
So you didn't really have to go nuts and I got to get this. I got to hit the bonus. I got to. So I think if that was my main source of income, I think I would go a little nuts.
It's become, since I left writing on Chelsea lately, it's become more of my main source of income.
But you had money from working on Chelsea lately.
Yeah, and also then I have another book deal,
right.
So I get from and a few acting jobs. So, you do different stuff, but
right.
It was probably for a few months my main. But I also was I hadn't been, and when the show ends, you might do this too, because he hadn't been available so much that they were here. They just booked me a whole bunch, you know. And then obviously in the summer you kind of slow down, and then I needed to finish my book, so I didn't go the last couple months, and then this fall I'll kind of go. But now I have a big tour to do in March, so I'll probably kind of slow down. But it was. I remember feeling like it was a little more fucking tiring, and that made me feel the opposite of how do people do that? If you're doing that for your main source of income, how can you fucking do a 8-ball and all this
right.
stuff? I was exhausted the whole time. I mean, I loved the performing part. It'd be great, but the time I got home, I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I mean, I do some fireball shots afterwards, and that would make me more tired.
Oh, I mean, what the fuck is that's the new thing that
it's so good. Don't you say a bad thing
I
about
have to
fireball.
agree that it is really kind of good.
It's so good.
I mean, as far as shots go, I can't. People go shots because everybody wants to buy you shots.
What's that song? Shot.
Lemon drops. He goes through 5 shots in it too, and then everybody says, "If you don't drink shots, get the fuck out the club." That's
you don't
that's
drink
a hardcore
shots,
rule.
Get the fuck out of the club. I don't know if that's how it goes, but I like it.
That is how it goes.
I think we didn't. Where was that song? Where was that playing? Everywhere we went. Vegas.
We were on tour together. I think at that point, doing when that song was at its height. So any place we went into, it was shot to get the fuck out the club. I think we were in Louisville. We were doing that Louisville Improv. Remember?
Oh, that's right, because they had this it was called the 4th Street Live or something like that. It was on.
And every place was just a bunch of girls fucked up.
It was we did a Thursday night show, and people were standing on bars and doing shots. I was like, it's Thursday, and it wasn't even the summer. It was it was definitely school.
This was a comedy club where normally in a comedy club they're let's not get people too drunk because they'll act out and they'll heckle and shit like that. This comedy club before had these what the fuck blended drinks, but you saw there were like 10 of them in a row, and they're all like on the thing you pull down, and it had a name of all the drinks, and every one of them was
stuff you get in Vegas.
Exactly, exactly, and you can get them in like gigantic glasses that you can keep or some shit, and everything was get fucked up, mind fucker, and fall on your face. The cops are coming. That's the name of the drinks.
The cops are coming.
Just like horrible, get fucked up drinks, and then go into the show.
Yeah,
and be completely insane.
And that club is since closed.
Yeah, so. Exactly. Yeah.
I don't understand those in Vegas. I've never gotten them because they're really sugary, and then you're out in the hot Vegas sun, hammered, drinking a drink that's literally as tall as you.
I think with the appealing part, when you first see it, is it's hot out. I'm going to get myself a nice tall frozen drink. It's going to last me for a long time.
A guitar. Have you seen the guitar?
No, I want.
Oh, you haven't. The whole guitar is filled with liquor, and a little straw comes out of the top, so you can play and just drink the whole
wonderful.
Guitar. Yeah, it looks kind of fun.
You get that at the Hard Rock or what?
Yeah, it's on one of those shitty places on the Strip in Vegas.
I haven't been to Vegas in a long time.
Yeah.
Sometimes I want to go. I miss it. And then I think, my friend Joanna Ocean engaged yesterday.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Congratulations,
Joanna.
I know you don't listen to the podcast because you're a shitty friend. But she was just there, and I was going to go. John and I were actually going to go, and then we didn't for some reason. I forget.
It pains me to say this, and I was there a few weeks ago with Chelsea and a bunch of the people from the show, and I think I might be getting too old for Vegas, and that is about the most hurtful thing I could have ever said to myself just then.
But the casinos are full of old people.
No, but fuck you.
No, that kind of old.
No, I know what you mean. But
funny,
the clubs and the pool, because in the summertime it's go to the pool all day, which is just a shit show of people on top of each other.
I can't take the pools there,
and it's just that music that
EDM. That's what the kids call it.
Is that the music?
Electronic dance music.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I call it EDM, I did die, motherfucker. But that's E doesn't start with it.
No, but that's okay. We knew what you meant.
Yeah.
Well, did you guys go out? Because Chelsea doesn't like that stuff either, but she kind of in a weird way does because she gets a private section.
Yeah, the private section we did. We went to that place in she was playing at Cosmopolitan, so we went to Josh was with us, and we went to the whatever the fuck Marquee, which is apparently I just read an article, the #1 money making club in the world. And they make $1 million a night there because these Arab sheiks come in and spend, $250,000 on one table.
I don't understand what we used to do that restaurant we used to work in. This restaurant Mirabelle, we always had. There was always these Persian. There were princes, right?
Yeah, I guess.
They always came in and said there was a Persian prince coming in, and there was I'm like, how many fucking princes do they have there?
I think there's lots of them.
Like a ton, because it was always because I was like, oh, it must be the same guys.
Look at Osama bin Laden was from a family of 18 kids or something, or something like that.
Well, don't they charge $200 or $300 a bottle?
Even more, some $700. And there was a dude, guys. We were sitting here, we had a table with Chelsea, and then there was some Persian, a prince next to us, a Saudi Arabian dude, and he had just girls coming over with Dom Perignon, and they were just popping the tops off. I mean, 100 bottles. That was and I'm thinking, how much did that waitress make? Even if it's 20%, that girl made $50,000 that night.
Jesus Christ! I guess that's a good place to work. Well, now we know what to do if things go south. You may be too old for it. You're going to have to go work. Put on a fucking miniskirt and go work there.
We went to the pool Friday and then Saturday.
Oh, that's when she performed because I almost went actually, but I think I was.
We went Saturday. We went to there's also a quieter pool, and we're like, let's go to the quiet pool
they have the nice quieter pool at the Cosmo,
and it was much better. So it's hard for me to accept that fact that I think it's my time to go.
I've always been too old for the pool stuff because I don't when there's too many and it's all crowded and there's I know everyone's going to the bathroom in the pool. I'm disturbed, and then there's all the girls in the bikinis. I've never really enjoyed the pool party scene. Right. I love drinking by a pool more than fucking probably anybody in the world. Yeah. I just don't need.
You really do enjoy the shit out of it.
I love it, but I don't need to do it with 500 people. Yeah. I need the waitress to be able to get to me. I need a clear path between she and I. I need space. And I don't need, if I did something like that and I had a cabana off to the side and I knew somebody was going to come check on me, I would be okay. But I for the most part, I don't need a lot of people. And the clubs, I mean, what got better as we would go. We could go and we would actually get in because
then you were waiting in no line anymore. And then it is kind of good.
It's humiliating when you go. When I was 25 and would go with Tilly and those girls we'd be all waiting in line in there. Then they all just look at you and then they pass you by and it's awful. I can't do that. I just leave.
My nephew's going to be 21 and he wants to go to Vegas. And I told him, I said, listen, I don't know if Vegas is that good if you're kind of like a broke 21-year-old.
And gambling, I mean,
it gets expensive by the pool because the drinks are
I mean, I love gambling. I went with horrible people. I went with friends who didn't like to gamble and didn't like to drink, so they would just walk up and down the strip all day.
What were they doing there?
They love it too. They go every year, and I just told them I couldn't go with them anymore because
they love just walking around.
They would walk up and down the strip and all through the hotels and the casinos, which look exactly the same and have the same stores, but it's just.
That's weird that they love that. I mean, good for them, but I wouldn't. I'm only going to walk up and down the strip if I'm trying to get a cab or something.
Yeah, I can't go that much anymore because I love gambling, but it's just I can't.
I find myself because of being on the road, I'm still into bars. I like to go. I always ask when the show's over, where's the spot? Where are they at? Like you and there's only a few girls who are really big time headliners. It's Eliza, you, Natasha. I mean, Heather and Jen and those guys. But I can't see you guys getting in the dirty cars that I have to get into to drive to radio and stuff.
We have to. Yeah, no, we have to. We have to do that. We have to get in this. The best ever every time. I can't tell you where it was until we're off.
Oh, I know the dirtiest car I've ever been in. I think. We're talking about the same club.
I'm not sure. I don't want to say until we're off, but this was the best. I got into the guy who was taking me, who was he was the feature. So for those of you guys who don't know what we're talking about, what happens is when you're performing a lot
First
of times.
Is this okay? We talk about comedy? I don't know what this is. Is this a podcast?
We talk about whatever.
Okay.
We have there's no.
Yeah. Are we not funny today? Should we be funnier?
We're fine.
No, is this fine?
I think we're having a nice time.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know what you guys do.
No, it's good. It's an hour and a half. People don't want you just cracking jokes the whole time.
Oh, good.
They like it.
Yeah.
That's why I asked you on because they're not that funny.
No,
people enjoy. We talk about whatever. It seems to go well. So and we'll have some calls in a couple minutes.
Perfect.
We'll take some
calls.
So
go on.
But anyway, so what happens is there's a feature, the act that usually that person the club manager usually picks you up. Or someone that works at the club picks you up
to go to the club?
No, I'm trying to tell people so they know because what we're talking about. I'm just really quick explaining. So the club manager or someone that works at the club will pick you up in the morning and take you to your radio gigs where you're and TV gigs where you're doing press for the show. And then there's someone who the feature sometimes picks you up. This is a particular case where they pick you up for the show that night instead of me taking a cab, which I'm happy to do. Because they don't want to reimburse you or whatever. They're like, the feature will pick you up on the way. So this feature picks me up. There was a lot of problems. This guy, at one point he told me he had some sort of handicap, like a mental handicap. He just sort of threw it in. I didn't really understand exactly what it was. It might have been, I don't know what it was. It was he threw in basically that he wasn't stable.
How was his driving?
And I know. Well, that wasn't great. The driving wasn't great, and that was kind of weird. And then, and it was just a strange sort of situation. And he was, and then whenever we left that night, I done it was, I don't know. My second show was over at 12 something. I was at a place where there's not a ton. I went an early flight the next day, so I always walk over to a bar, like you're saying. I usually have a couple of drinks. So I was going back to my room right after I was exhausted, and he's like, before I drop you off back at your hotel, is it okay if I run a really quick errand? And I was like, what? And he was like, well, I'm going to this wedding tomorrow. I need to get a shirt. And I was like, what? And he was like, I just need to go by my apartment. So then he ran by his apartment, but it was 30 minutes out of the way.
Oh my
And then
God.
because he could tell I was getting irritated, because I was like, "What is happening? Like, I'll just take a fucking cab back.
Yeah.
Like, it's 5 minutes from my hotel. Now we're going like 30 minutes out of the way.
And
So
this
at
is after
midnight,
the shows?
after the show, so
Oh.
he could run up at midnight and like grab his shirt because he had to go to a wedding the next day, but he didn't want to go back home after he took me back to the hotel. It made zero sense. And then I think because he knew I was getting irritated, and because of whatever handicap situation he had, he like hustled up, and then it like on his way back, he got back in the car, and he was like. He was like completely out of breath because I guess running back and forth was a bad idea. It was just a weird situation. Sorry, that wasn't a dirty car story, but it was one of those situations where
I was just in a very dirty car in Tampa.
Okay.
And the dirtiest one I've ever seen, I think, is Kansas City.
Okay.
He's actually a nice dude, and I play there a lot, and he always gets mad at me for talking about his car on things like this. But I every time I do it, I think, oh, this will be a wake-up call for him to clean his fucking car.
Right.
And he never does. And every time I get in, and I think, there's no way Natasha Leggero or Sarah Colonna got in this fucking guy's car. No way.
I haven't been to Kansas City. I got in a really dirty one, and it was such a nightmare. It was dirty, and she was late for press, so I was actually late for all my press because she overslept. And when she finally got like the 15th phone call from me that woke her up, she came rushing to get me. Her car was like falling apart. She was wearing pants that were like they had like cat hair and stuff like stuck all over them, and like she definitely had like she probably had like 7 dicks in her mouth the night before. I mean, she looked like her hair was a mess.
Yeah.
She definitely gotten hammered the night before for sure, drunk, and then probably other things because I've now heard stories about her. Was late for press, and then while she was panicking because she's late,
right.
You know, because these radio shows, they have you on at a certain time and they announce that you're coming, and then I'm already like half an hour late for all this shit, and then while she's driving, she's like freaking out, so she can't find where she's going, even though she lives here and takes people to press all the time, and she can't find it. So then she gets on her iPhone and starts looking for the radio station, and almost rear ends. I'm not exaggerating. Like I am a little bit of a grandma in a car, but this was like she was like about to kill us because she was like head down on the phone, still thinking about the cock she had earlier. Drunk, like whatever. I mean, I was like, this is a fucking disaster. And then the rest of the weekend, she was like she was a great like she was awesome. So I'm like, what happens? Like, don't you go? I have to pick someone up and do this is the only business where you can.
I think
just
to bring
fall
this
apart.
to full circle, I think these stories we have just told shows you exactly why Robin Williams was in the condition he was in. Probably, Robin Williams was a road comic for many years,
yes.
And I don't know if he was I don't think he was taking rides from the airport from the feature anymore.
Well, sounds like he was having a lot of money issues. Maybe he was.
So maybe he was. So that it's things like that just you're like, oh fuck it.
The more I talk about it, the worse it sounds.
I mean, there are times where I would probably rather commit suicide than get in that guy's dirty car again in Kansas City. Because not only does he have a dirty car,
I can't wait. I hope I perform that. I can't wait to say
not only does he have a very dirty car, he's also like, and there's nothing wrong with these type of people. I'm just not one of them, and he doesn't really get the fact that I'm not interested in like Star Wars. And he'll be like, "What do you think of this whole Ben Affleck as Batman thing?" And I'm like, "Oh, he seems like he'll be fine." What? Are you out of your mind? He'll be awful. I'm like, I don't know. He's is he?
People get very connected.
So
to
he was,
that.
and he was telling me all about this one series. Like I don't even know what it is. Some aliens or some shit.
Right.
And how he's upset at the casting of the movie. And it's 6 o'clock in the morning. And I have there's nothing I want to talk about at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, that's
especially
the worst part.
the casting of the next Aliens movie or whatever. And he's going and going and going. And I'm just looking around his car at how, much, I think it's vomit. I think he, fucking pukes on the dashboard and just leaves it there. It's just there's corn on his dashboard and shit. And there's no way, looking at this guy, he's eating corn off the cob. Or, it's like in a shit burrito or something. And then he's just...
I love the image of somebody just throws up on their dashboard and just keeps driving.
There used to be a dude who worked at Mirabelle. Do you remember? That fucking guy. We used to work at a restaurant together many years ago, Colonna and I. And he used to puke in his car all the time that the valets eventually said, we're not getting in that car anymore. Remember that weird old man?
Bob?
I forget his fucking name, but they were like, there's no way we're not getting in your car anymore. He would just vomit in his car and drive off. Next day, come back, drink.
Oh, just
Wait,
again.
Did he work there, or he came?
No, he was a patron.
That makes me want to throw up thinking about like what vomit smells like the next day, like warm vomit.
And so he was he would just vomit. They start over again.
Maybe it was a fetish.
Talk about.
Do you guys ever watch Hoarders?
Yeah, same kind of thing.
It's been on like repeat, like big what is it called, marathons. And my girlfriend and I turned it on. There's this one family where a cat died and they just didn't find it.
Oh,
and then when they found it when they were taking all the trash out, and the woman was trying to be like, oh well, she was 19 and we just couldn't find her one day and it didn't smell. Like, can you imagine what the house smelled like?
Oh.
If a dead cat for years didn't smell.
Oh.
Well, this is what this guy's pukey car smelled like.
It's okay. The fact that Miraval, the restaurant we used to work, there was also there was a guy that I had to call the police on. Remember, I did call the police ambulance twice in one day.
Bob Carter.
Yeah. He's dead now, so we can talk about him. He would come in, like I would be bartending, and they would say he was cut off. He wasn't supposed to drink there anymore. But if you left the bar, he would go behind the bar and pour champagne into his orange juice or vodka into his orange juice, and then you would come back out and he would be drinking. You'd be like, whatever, like who cares? He's a fucking complete alcoholic, like just whatever. But one time he was like, he got so drunk he went and he passed out in his car. No, he fell down the stairs.
He lived right behind the place. Yeah,
he fell down and cut his head open. We had to call the ambulance on him. For him, he left in the ambulance, and he came back later and started drinking again. And then he fell asleep in his car, and then they had to call the ambulance on him because we thought he was dead in his car, but he wasn't.
Same guy. We're working the same day. Bob falls down. Bob Carter, this guy Sarah's talking about, falls on the steps. He cracks his head open, bleeding profusely from his head. I run inside, grab napkins to put on his head. And that place was kind of a fancy place. We had linen napkins. The owner of the place, as I was about to apply it to his head that was gushing blood and save his life, the owner goes, "No, not the linen." He's a Greek guy, and he would rather have that guy die on the sidewalk than use his linen napkins to clean up. Remember? George was like, "Never the linen napkins on a dead person bleeding."
I mean, that's exactly. Yes, I do remember. Oh, that's amazing. Not the linen.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Never. Let him die first, please. You know how much those ought to clean?
You can't get, I think you just have to throw them out. You can't get the blood out. Oh, Bob Carter.
Bob Carter, one time I actually did, the same guy, I actually had to ask him to leave the bar one time, and I feel like I'm talking about shit a lot, but because he had shit his pants, and it was apparent that it was in his pants. It was seeping through.
And he was just drunk. He was just like,
yes.
Cool.
And we were like, Bob, you shit your pants. You need to go. And
did he?
And he did. He went quietly. I mean, I guess that's one of the ones where you're like, oh, you know what? It is time for me to go.
You're right. I did shit my pants. Yeah. He was like he was one of those. He was like leaving Las Vegas alcoholic.
Yeah,
like,
I've never seen anyone like that.
Like just wasted away. Never really ate. Just drank.
Did he come in sober like that at the beginning of the shift?
Yeah, I very rarely saw him sober, but yeah.
I think he'd be like sober-ish. He probably had like a drink at home to stop the shakes.
Oh my god!
And then he would. I mean, that's like a real, like a full-on real alcoholic. We had a few crazy ones.
For all you girls who can't find a man, this guy had a girlfriend who was as drunk as he was. Remember?
She was.
They used to get completely plastered together and just have their night.
They shit their pants together. You sent them both out of there.
Oh my god!
There was another woman too. This was my favorite. I won't say her name, but whatever. But she was like, remember the woman? She had the spiky hair.
Tarika.
Yeah. Okay.
We have to say her. She's dead too.
Oh, is she?
Oh, she's about to be close.
Tarika, she talked. Wait,
yeah.
It was right. Like, wasn't it like this kind of? She had like a reference. She was very obsessed with. She thought that she would drink Pinot Grigio, or she liked white wine.
Yeah.
She liked Chardonnay. She liked her
Who
Chardonnay.
goes to a bar to drink white wine?
Oh, Tarika. Not only, yeah.
And a few of my friends.
Sarah Colonna.
But red wine, actually, I prefer. No, but she had this thing where I remember when I was bartending, and she was like, she didn't like. She was like, the tannins make me sick. The tannins make me sick. So then she was like, there's no tannins in the Pinot Grigio. I'll start drinking that. There was tannins in the Pinot Grigio too, but she just thought she just convinced herself there wasn't. I don't even really know what tannins are. I know I think they're in all wine. But she had decided it made you sick. It's not the fucking tannins. But she thought she was like, they give me a hangover. I'm like, no, that you had 3 bottles.
Remember when she fell off a roof or something and had a big like apparatus around her chest for like 6 months? She looked like a fucking stormtrooper sitting at the bar drinking.
She would still come into the
I mean, this is the shit. I mean, we have kind of made it in this business, thank God. We went through the fucking ringer to get here.
Yes, please God, don't ever let me have to go back. That was like, because that was like right on, and also it was right on Sunset and kind of a fancy. It's like West Hollywood. I don't know why it had, because it'd been there so long. I guess it just attracted. There was just like this group of just fucking raging alcoholics, and the porn producer. There was Bobby G, the porn producer.
Yes. And I'll tell you a funny story about Tarika. My friend Theo Rossi, who used to work there as well for a little bit. Theo's the Juice on Sons of Anarchy now, and I host that Sons of Anarchy after show.
Oh, when is that? Go ahead.
That's September 9th. That starts live on FX.
Very good.
Anyway, Theo Rossi, who is a great guy and is a friend of mine, one of my best friends in town, was at the place called the Silver Spoon on Sunset. Are you familiar with it? It's like a real shitty diner on Sunset.
Yeah, it's closed. No, it was on Santa Monica.
Santa Monica, correct, yes.
Liz Barnes used to work there.
Okay, so Silver Spoon, about 8 o'clock in the morning, Theo's sitting there eating. He hears behind him, Chardonnay, please. And he's like, who the fuck is ordering a Chardonnay at 8 o'clock in the morning? He turns around, it's Tarika. Tarika, 8 a.m., was ordering a Chardonnay, and then she was going to head probably down to Mirabelle, which is not far down the street.
Yeah, that place was, I went to the Silver Spoon a few times because Liz waited tables there.
There was
and
a bar in there,
yeah,
remember?
we thought the bar was hilarious.
Yeah.
At night when we would do, I can't imagine going there at 8
Is that
o'clock in the
closed,
morning.
the Silver Spoon?
It is. It's. I just passed it the other day, and it's like something else now.
Oh, wow. I used to love that place.
Yeah.
8 in the morning wine.
Oh,
yeah.
Can you imagine?
Thank God I was never an alcoholic.
I know. I mean, we had that place was like full on raging alcoholics.
Were you a bartender too?
Yeah, I bartended, I waited, we did everything.
Yeah,
we kind of just ran the show.
Like I got lucky as a server. There's one time, this guy, and I got in trouble for it. This guy, because I worked at a seafood place, and he came in and he's like, "I'm gonna want 4 beers, but I'm gonna eat and leave soon, so I'm gonna pay quickly." And you can't give them that many at once because you're supposed to stop serving them if they get drunk.
Right.
So I got in trouble for that. But I never really had a regular who was a drunk. As a bartender, do you guys get maybe I should stop serving him, or he gives great tips, so maybe I should keep serving him.
I mean, there was definitely some people that you were just like, I mean, with
these
Bob
were
Carter,
professional drunks. The place we worked at, the place had been there for 47 years. It was one of the oldest restaurants in Los Angeles, just closed recently. And so these guys were professional drunks. They had been going there since the 70s.
And you'd be fired if you didn't give them a drink.
Yeah, they knew what they were doing.
They knew what they were doing, and then also it was like...
None of them drove or anything, except the guy who puked all over his own car. But
right. Yeah, no, they never drove.
They lived close to the place and just walked.
I mean, once somebody's shitting their pants, what are you going to do?
Yeah,
if you serve them another one or not? I mean,
he'll find a place that's going to serve him one.
Yeah, but I mean, I definitely cut people off when I worked at Formosa and stuff, and probably at Mirabelle too. But that those regulars, it was like they were good, and they would but not a lot of them were cheap and kind of expected free drinks from you. Those older regulars, and then they get pissy when new stuff would happen, and you're like, well, you have to have different customers than you guys, right. You're not fucking. This isn't great. We had one guy who was a porn producer. His name was Bobby G.
And it wasn't even good porn. It was kind of Cinemaxy, shitty porn that wasn't even penetration.
I remember he told me that he would give me $500 if I would write a porn script.
Yeah.
And I thought it was right after Saving Private Ryan came out, and I was going to do Saving Private Hyman.
Oh, nice.
I was like, that would be a good porn.
She'd be a virgin.
Yeah. But then I decided not to write that.
Yeah, well,
which I think was a good choice.
You missed out on $500.
I did. I mean,
So this is kind of off topic a little bit, but I've always wondered what's a good tip for a bartender. I always do $1 or $2 a drink.
I mean, that's not bad. I guess if you've got one drink, that's fine.
Well, it's, per drink. If you're every time you get a drink, if you're paying cash and you leave $1 or $2, that's fine.
Yeah. I always say you can never tip. Because
it's
no such
hard
thing as a big tip.
Because as a server, I would always get excited when someone buy an expensive bottle of wine. But then some people are like, well, I don't tip 20% on the wine because they're not really doing that much.
Yeah, it's a cheap fucker.
Yeah. Some of the worst tippers I got were people with the American Express Black Card.
Yeah, we had that too a little bit.
Yeah, that's true. And or people who are like, oh, you don't do it on the wine because then they're not doing. Yeah, but you're ordering you're ordering. I mean, that's part of it. When you're ordering like that, you're paying.
The worst thing you want to hear is I've always found this is when they say, if you get me a table order, I'll take care of you. When they say that means this is a shit tip coming. Anytime somebody says, I'll take care of you, they're not going to take care of you.
They're going to leave $3.
Yeah, right.
Does being a server make you a little bit, not racist, but What, like, did you prejudge your tables?
Yes, of course, always.
Yeah, but it wasn't even just. I mean, it would be like groups of girls. Sometimes like
The worst.
fucking older women, fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Like you know.
Unless they were, like, in your case, servers themselves or
Right.
something. But, yeah, for the most part, that's really bad.
I wish everybody had to, like, have a wait tables. Like, if you could get into a restaurant, only if you had waited tables, you had, like, a card that proved you had waited tables for 1 year.
Or even just worked retail. Because, like, I
Anything.
feel like people, if
Dealt
people are
with the
rude to
public.
Customer
servers.
service,
Yeah.
yeah.
It makes me so, like, my parents used to, like, get, like, yell at, like, servers or managers if they felt, and I like, my mom was a server, so she wouldn't do it as much. But whenever I see anyone, like, being rude to, like, a cashier, it makes me feel so uncomfortable.
Oh, I'll get treated like shit at a restaurant, tip 25%
Yeah.
without saying a word.
Yeah.
Like I've finally, I think, said something one time recently because it was so bad. But it's like you see how bad they get treated, but then you also get, like, now I'm so fucking sick of that bartenders with their suspenders and their fucking mixologists and how great they think they are. I want John Taffer to come into every single one of those places.
Greatest show I've ever seen in my life. I can't stop watching.
Did you start watching Bar Rescue because
because of your tweets?
Yes. You don't watch it, do you?
I've seen it. Paulo likes it. There was one that was just
It's
terrible.
the same show every single time.
There was
so
one,
good. No, he gets so mad at people.
There was one
This
where
place is disgusting.
there was a cook in the back who was trying to get disability, and they had video of it. And he just, like, started throwing plates everywhere, like he was falling down. Like,
Oh my God!
Did you
I didn't
see
see
that
that
one?
one.
Oh my God, it was terrible.
They're my favorite ever. Like, speak of the fucking obnoxious mixologist. They always have, like, an obnoxious mixologist help them out, on there.
He comes from another place. And he's
Yeah.
like, bartender of the year.
Have you seen that? There's, like, the white guy with like the sandy brown hair. He was like irritated by how they ran the bar in the back or something. I don't know. And literally at one point he's like, "I could have died back here."
Yeah.
It's like, no, you could. Like, you weren't gonna die back there at all. Like, they weren't. But I'm sick of those fucking people. I'm sick of those people. I went into, what is it, that place that used to be the Draft?
What's that called?
Oh, the Rec Room?
Yes, yes. Or maybe it's called the Draft now.
By the way, Monday nights I saw a sign out front, country line dancing at that place.
What's tonight?
It was Tuesday. We missed it, but anyway, for future reference.
You know how much I would enjoy a country line dancing place?
It's there.
Oh, the only place I've ever gone country line dancing since I've moved here was at Oil Can Harry's on Ventura Boulevard,
That's
which is a gay bar.
Yeah, it's a gay country western bar, which is amazing.
And then while we were there, we signed up you and
and I still get the mailing.
Yeah, we signed you up on all the mailing list. Yeah,
I still get them.
That was a fun joke.
I used to go back to your story about prejudging people as a waiter. When I first came out here, I worked at a Sizzler, which is whatever that is. They're not even around anymore.
Were you the manager?
No, I wasn't the manager. I was trying to get to manager, but I never made it.
There's still one like on like
that's like there's
Burbank
like one
Airport.
left. Yeah, towards Burbank Airport. And I was working at one on Hollywood and Western. It was I was a kid. And I don't know if you know, Sizzler used to order first, and then you would bring like your thing to the table and blah blah blah. Okay, so we had a board on the wall that had all the choices. It was just that was your menu. At the bottom of the board, it said, "Complement your meal with beer or wine."
Oh no!
All the people in that area, not exactly the smartest people in the world, thought it said complimentary beer and wine. So we were always like, they were like, yeah, and we'll have the wine and well, no, okay, so $6. Excuse me, it says a complimentary beer and wine. We're like, no, we're like, no, it says compliment your meal with beer and wine. What does that mean? It's compliment, like enhance your meal. Don't get uppity on me. Sorry. So it's we have to give like, all right, complimentary. Go ahead, take it. Just take it.
You might as well send a chug of wine
every day I'd have to explain the difference between complimentary and compliment.
Oh my God.
Yeah. That's amazing, by the way. No, I don't think I've ever heard that story. So
yeah,
I like
that's
the
one of
Sizzler.
my,
They had a nice salad bar.
Yeah, compliment your meal with beer or wine. Yes, how they did. They had a wonderful salad bar.
Just to take callers, just for fun, if anyone wants to call in, you can tell us the server story. You can ask us a question.
Okay. I feel like we've really been like just personal comedy and server stories.
Well, but I think
we have Justin calling. He must have a server.
Oh yeah,
right?
Justin. Justin.
Is this a guy who calls all the time?
Justin from Quincy. Hey, Justin, what's up?
Not too much. How are you? I'm just getting home from work. I haven't called in for a little while, so I just wanted to say hi.
I know. Well, you haven't called in for a while. Chris Franjola is with us tonight. I don't know if you knew that.
No, I didn't.
Chris Franjola is with us tonight. Chris Franjola is with us tonight. Chris Franjola is with us tonight. I don't know if you knew that. Chris Franjola is with us tonight. I don't know if you knew that.
Are you kidding?
Seems thrilled by that.
No, he is. Chris Franjola is sitting in with us tonight.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Josh Wolf is doing a Shark After Dark, so I have to be here.
Oh my God! I wanted to say, are you kidding? Hi, Chris.
Hi. How are you?
That means he likes you, Chris. It's a good thing.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Well, was he
Yeah,
listening?
it's a great
He's not
thing.
listening.
Hi.
He just knows what time we're on.
Weren't
So
you
he's
listening
just
to the
calling.
show?
No, he wasn't listening.
Okay, got it.
Sometimes they're listening, and sometimes they just call in because they know what time it's on.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, good to hear from you, buddy. Is it Justin?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God! Are you? Hi, Chris. I'm a huge fan. Thank you for your service in NAMM.
Oh, thank you. Oh, you really are a fan. Oh, okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate
Justin's
that.
awesome. I've met him. Where did I meet you? What city were we in? I can't remember.
The amazing metropolis of Des Moines.
Des Moines. Have you done the Funny Bone in Des Moines?
I have not. I'm doing a bunch of Funny Bones coming up. I don't know if I'm doing Des Moines, but yeah, I got a couple of Funny Bones.
Yeah.
Oh God! Please don't do Des Moines.
Yeah.
It's just the city itself.
Is that where you live? Is that where you live? Is that Iowa?
No, he's in Quincy.
No, I live in Quincy, where Josh and Sarah are going to do their podcast, hopefully, and you should totally come.
Where's Quincy? Where's that?
I don't know what it's next to.
What state is that in?
It's in Illinois.
Illinois.
It's gigantic, and the next up-and-comer, and it's so small, so please don't research it.
I won't. Yeah, Quincy, Illinois. Okay, good. Yeah, well, if I'm there, I'll look you up. In Quincy.
Awesome.
All right, Justin. Do you have any thoughts on Robin Williams or bad service at a restaurant? Those are the two things. And
we shitting on people's chests. We also covered that.
Robin Williams totally took me by surprise. I was so upset yesterday, and I'm still today. He was a really big part of my childhood growing up. Jumanji and Aladdin and everything else is just super depressing.
Yeah.
I think that's what we were kind of talking about in general, is that how he actually, like, universally did really affect people in different ways, because people grew up watching his movies, or, whether or not you were
and
a
I
kid.
feel like, God, the more you think about it, I forgot about Jumanji. He had a ton of great movies.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, it's just so shitty
Justin's
because
gay, so
he
he
made
loved Aladdin,
so many people so happy, and then to find out that he was just so sad, like it's so.
I know. I
not
think
right
that's
the
the
way that
weirdest
the universe
part.
is.
Yeah, that's honestly one of the weirdest parts. To make someone so that brought so much joy to the world had such a sad heart.
I was just amazed at how many people judging on Facebook and Twitter have actually met him. There was everybody. I met him. I met him.
I know.
I
a
met
lot
him.
of
I met him.
people with pictures. He apparently, I guess. I guess
he
he
took
worked
a lot
in
of
that many
pictures.
movies. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Justin. Well, thank you for calling.
Thank you so much.
We'll talk to you soon.
Chris, I love you so much.
Thanks, Justin. Good to hear from you, buddy.
Have a good night, guys.
You too.
And if you want to call in, it's 818-284-6171.
Oh, yeah, that's the phone number, 818-284-6171. You can call in about anything. Yeah, no, they don't. People, it's okay that we're talking about comedy and stuff, because that's what we do.
I don't know. I thought sometimes, the last time I was here, you played a game.
Mm-hmm.
You
yeah,
did that,
we do a lot of different things.
You read tweets from Angela Bassett.
Well, I do have a Tinderfession that I wanted to read, just because I
really made me
I really
laugh.
feels like I start doing this for you, Lee, at this point, because
I love
for
them.
some reason
Well,
I think
because I never got to use Tinder, and
I'm on Tinder.
Is it really this disgusting?
I've never went on an actual date on it, but
Really?
I'm on it, and it is kind of like, if you're sitting in an airport or something, it's almost fun. Just like it's like a game, just swiping people aside.
But does anyone actually go on a date? I feel like it's just like,
no, I don't.
Hey, do you want to have sex? Yeah.
No, it's not even that. There's not even it's not even a hookup thing.
Tinder? Yeah, it is. That's what all these people are doing on there.
No, it's not.
That's what the kids are doing. They're hooking
not.
up.
I'm telling you, they're not.
Yes.
That's all bullshit.
They're just looking at pictures and then not
everybody says, first of all, everybody says, I'm not here to hook up. They all say that right up front.
I feel like they're liars.
No, I think that some people are, that because it's such a hookup site, people have to say I'm not there to hook up because they're trying to actually meet someone. When I scroll through Tinderfessions, I'll find like one or two is like, I met my boyfriend on here. There's still some good ones out there. And then the next one's like, I fisted my friend.
Okay, here we go. No, that's not happening.
What are you looking at Tinder right now?
Uh-huh.
I heard guys just always swipe right and then see what comes back.
Because I know that like girls go hook up with like hockey players and baseball players, guys like that do it on the road all the time. Would you like to hear my favorite one this week?
Yes.
I'll read it. Will you introduce it, Lee? Since Josh
this
is in here.
Angela Bassett reading Tinderfessions.
Oh, that girl's pretty. That
what?
Wasn't it. Oh, I can't. I can only see from the side. No.
No.
Okay, sorry. Okay. So this is an Angela Bassett Tinder fashion, but really it's a real Tinder fashion. Just a warning, there is a bitch out there named Jolie. She cute, but don't swipe right. She's a bitch with a fishy poontang. Oh. Who's this fishy poontang?
Wow.
Who's this
that guy does.
poontang? Wait, is there another one?
See, now that's fake. That girl, that's not that girl. You see, there's a lot of that. This girl is...
So they just use
that's like Selena Gomez.
Yeah.
Right?
So they just use fake pictures.
They use fake pictures and whatever. It's that if that's a dude.
Or when you get... I know, I see a lot of them and they're like... And then she showed up and she had like... You know, she was 400 or 500 pound midget.
Or they don't even show up. Here's what they do. They start sending you messages, right? They're like, hey, that girl that I just showed you.
Right.
22-year-old, like that. I think that literally was Selena Gomez. They were just using a picture of Selena Gomez. So she'll start sending you messages, and then she'll go, "This is boring. Come to this website," and that's how they get you. They're like, "Contact me here. My phone's breaking up. Contact me here." And then you go to some website and you have to pay to get there.
Oh, so it's like spam stuff.
Yeah,
but that's
exactly.
not all of them.
No. It's not all of them, but it seems to be like like the real hot ones. You're like, oh, here's one. There's something shady about it.
Oh,
I'm going to read one more to you.
Okay.
Are you scared? College girl wanted me to try anal for the first time. I used a lot of lube. Barely got it in, and she started crying like I killed her puppet.
A lot of.
Is that like a Twitter or something? What is that from?
It's called Tinder Fashions.
It's on Twitter?
Yeah, it's on It's a Twitter account called at Tinder Fashions.
Wow.
I give them a lot of love. They tweeted Lee and I one day. We got so excited.
Oh, really?
And it's like supposedly real. I mean, I think they get it off of Tinder. They're real like statements, or people send them in saying they really used it. But now I think a lot of people just send in jokes. Like that guy probably did do that to that girl. You know, like crying like a puppy.
I just don't know, like, because I can't imagine girls would be too. Like, I don't know too many girls who would be open to like, hey, you want to have sex? Absolutely. Let's. Like, I feel like girls need a little bit more. Like,
yeah, I don't. Yeah, there's no way. You mean girls are saying that on Tinder Fashions?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's.
It makes me feel like it makes me nervous that everyone cheats. I'm like, oh god.
No, I don't. I think you would know if your girlfriend. I mean, she's nervous about getting a pair of high-waisted shorts. She's not out there taking a lot of dicks when you're.
Although when she gets those high-waisted shorts, you better watch out. She's gonna
be. I'm picking her up after this, so I'll have to talk to her about it. But
yeah,
no, I mean I can't even imagine. But I will say online dating is a lot of one-night stands. Before, because that's where I met this girlfriend. But before that, it was just everyone always seems like, oh, I want a relationship, but 9 out of 10 first dates always end up as a one night stand.
Which website did you meet her on?
Okay, Cupid, the free one, because
well, that one's not bad though, right?
No, that one's okay. I mean, I haven't been on like Farmers Only or one of those silly ones, but I would never go on J-Date because I'm Jewish and I hate Jewish girls. But
I don't know about.
Are you big into online dating?
No, not really. I mean, we were on Tinder just as kind of a goof for the show. We were doing it to get Chewy a date, and that didn't work out. But yeah, I mean, I don't begrudge people for doing it. I think it's great if you can. I'm just on TV and gorgeous, so I can get laid anywhere. So I don't have that issue. But it's not a problem.
Well, I just think it's like, I don't think people are real. I mean, I think people are not using it. I think if people think they're going to use it for dating, and then that's why they say, I'm not here to hook up. But then the guys are just there to hook. I don't know. I can't really decide.
My issue currently is
too much.
Yeah, well, in a way, I felt like every girl, and this is going to sound like a real asshole, like I'm a real fucking asshole, but I have nothing to lose at this point. At the last 6-7 girls deeply in love with me, like hardcore, like I need to move in with. I need to be with you every now, always.
And how after dating for how long?
Like a day. I'm not shitting you. Like a day.
Scary.
Well, that's not good. Then
it's like the last 5.
That's weird. Why do you think that is?
Well, here's the thing. I think it's because I have some sort of stability financially. Yes. I think there is definitely something to that.
Yeah. You got a nice place.
I have a nice place. I keep my shit tight. I believe there's something like
shave your balls.
No, like well, that whole area is not a bad situation. Like
right.
you go down there. I have I think I plugged it last time, and I'll do it again. I had to use a thing called Nice Nuggets. It's a lotion that goes down there, and I really talked about it last time on the show. I think, and it smells nice. I mean, it's like.
It's nice. It's not a terrible surprise.
No, it's like
when you go down there.
it's like going when you take your clothes out of the dryer and they're real nice and just put them on your face. That's my balls.
Put them right on your face.
Yeah. So I don't know, and I think there's something to that, and I think it's like a better story. Like you go back to your friends. These girls, kind of youngish, so they go back to their friends and they can say, oh, my boyfriend, the guy who works at whatever, Macy's. Or you can go, the guy from Chelsea Lately. They're like, oh, my God, really? That guy? So I think there's something to that.
Yeah.
Like, I think they're putting more fantasy on it than there really is to it.
I could see that. I think it's weird that they would immediately be like, let's move in and get married. I mean, just because but I guess you're right. I guess if it's like, I will, like, dating. I didn't date anybody for fucking, like, 4 years because it's such a fucking pain in the ass.
Me too. I have not dated like out in years, 4 or 5 years now, like extensively.
Yeah.
Like I've been with this girl for 2 months. No, it's been 3 dates, and they're all still like people are friends of mine. Like if I don't fuck them anymore, they're still friends of mine. I think sometimes.
Yeah, it's always like you're not sure.
Yeah.
Send a nice text every now and then.
I don't know how to get to like the definitive ground anymore. Like when you and John Ryan started like dating. Mm-hmm. Do you say it? Do you say to each other, "No, we're dating each other"? Like we're officially.
I'll tell you what happened.
We're officially boyfriend girlfriend.
We had a nice text exchange. It was a sweet
really?
little text. Yeah, it was a sweet text exchange.
So you were already going out a couple times.
Yeah, and we don't like talking on the phone. So we text. It's very nice.
Yeah, it's much better.
And there was like a discussion about like what about when the season started and we couldn't see each other as much. Yeah. And I was like, I don't care. I can travel there, and you can, we'll figure it out, and then we just won't see each other for a few weeks here and there. It'll just be different. And then he was like, he said something. I hope he doesn't get mad at me for a second. And then he was like, he wrote me and something, and he was like, so you want to keep doing this? And I said, yeah. And then he was like, so you and me? Isn't that nice?
That's like a Tim McGraw song, going back to Tim McGraw. So you and me.
You and me over and over again.
Now, how long had it been? Yeah. Was it like 2 weeks or 2 days?
It was a couple months.
Also, it had been that long.
Yeah, but we had like a weird, like we started talking a few weeks before you actually even met each other. Right. So, because we had kind of a weird,
But he knew who you were from television.
Yes.
And did you know who he was? He's I
figured it out.
Yeah. It's not hard to figure out.
No.
Yeah.
No, I knew. I knew he played for the Seahawks. I didn't know. I didn't follow football, so I didn't know a ton about him at the time. But I knew enough.
How do you deal with? Because I've never been good at dating, just like casually. Like if I would get jealous, like I've never been like, oh well, I'm seeing this girl and that girl, and I don't care if she sees another guy, because in a dream world, I would love to see multiple girls. Right. But I could never. It would if any girl I was ever sleeping with currently was also sleeping with other guys, my brain would explode. I'm not built for that. So
that doesn't really bother me, and I don't think the girls who I don't think they consciously know that I'm dating. Like I think everybody thinks that. Oh yeah,
but you're always very honest about it. You always say you're always like I'm dating other people, or you don't make people think like.
I don't know if I say it up front, but I think it's like I hope that it's like if these people live in other states for the most part, and I'm like, do you really think that we're gonna be?
Yeah, but I don't feel like you're not like. Baby, it's only you.
No,
and that kind of stuff.
No.
Yeah, I'm like you. I can't. It doesn't matter if I was dating someone that I, whatever. If it was like a loose thing, maybe I don't know. But I'm now to the point where my head would explode.
By the way, I'm going to give this tip to everybody, and it's something that I believe maybe I should do like a TV show about it. I think now I'm getting so good at this. First of all, I've learned recently that I have a guest bathroom. The guest bathroom garbage can. You need to always. That can fuck you. It's fucked me hard several times now.
Like condoms and
no. Because the girl goes into that bathroom, right? I don't forget all about it. I forget about that bathroom. Next girl comes 2 weeks later. Opens the bathroom. There's girl stuff in the thing, not tampons or anything. Just like there's so many. You guys use a lot of like tissues.
Right.
There's a lot of tissue action.
Like eye makeup removal.
So it's in there, and they're like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, oh, that's, blah, 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 blah. So I've been burned. So for those of you out there,
take out your second bathroom trash.
Second bathroom trash, you got to empty that before anyone comes over. That's just my tip to everybody.
That's something.
I would like to throw in, just don't put kitchen food in your bathroom trash.
That's my favorite.
That's my least favorite thing. Yeah, my roommate that used to throw
I don't understand the side chick phenomenon, though. Like, that's so much... Like, I'd be so nervous about keeping the lie up. I don't know how that's appealing.
It is. It's a pain in the ass. But...
Yeah, that would be a tough one, I feel like. I mean, I don't... I would used to be the girl that would like look for that stuff. I don't feel that way with John at all. I would never even have to look. Like I just don't. But I would definitely be. I used to be the girl who'd be like, not really go through. I wouldn't go through your garbage, but I'd open a cabinet and see if there's any smelly lotions in there.
And what kind of girl?
But I would just think they were yours if it was.
Well, in most cases they are.
And what kind of girl is okay with being the side one? That seems like. That's like against everything that someone would want.
I know, like some girls are weird like that, though. I know girls that are like I know this one girl's like only fucks married men. Like, she's not a friend of mine by any means, but she's someone I know, and and it's like they're fucked up. I mean, that's not a normal way to think. So you're obviously you have issues. You have all kinds of daddy issues, whatever you have when that happens.
Yeah, and my other tip to the people, speaking of Tinder, is I think that you're not on it, are you?
No.
Have you ever been? Have you ever even looked at it?
No, I've looked at it on a friend of mine's phone, looking at her account.
Okay, so you swipe the pictures. Every girl has a lot of pictures of because I believe you think that guys want an active girl. Like here's me zip lining, and here I am mountain climbing. I'm going to tell everybody to stop right now. There's not a guy on the fucking planet who wants you to zip line. Nobody does. And maybe there's two guys you're going to be like, bullshit. There is. I know a guy who likes zip lining. He's a dick.
Yeah.
And
you need to find that guy on zipliningmeetup.com
exactly.
or whatever.
Most
sure
guys just want to... If you take a picture and go, I like to sit on the fucking couch and watch television, you'll be every guy's fucking hero.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to do activities.
Yeah, no,
Am I crazy?
I actually agree 100% with you. Nothing. If anyone, I hate more than anything is when somebody's like, I'm rock climbing, and I'm like, well, then go ahead.
Then goodbye. Yeah, go climb that fucking rock.
Yeah,
and I hope you fall off it.
I hope you scrape your knees, you asshole. Yeah, I agree with you. No activities, and the people that do want to be on, there are websites for people. If you are an activity wanter, there are fitness websites and whatnot. Go on there. Just leave Tinder to the horny, slutty people.
People ask me all the time, what do you do? Like, what do you do for fun? I'm like, nothing. I don't really know what the fuck I do. Like, I'm busy. I'm doing stand-up, and then I'm working on the show. So, like, I feel like, what do I do for fun? What do you do for fun?
I know. I swear to God, that's like... Well, actually, I like to talk about that, too. If I now had to fill out an online profile, I'd be like... Activity? I don't know.
Nothing.
Like, you start to feel bad about yourself. Like, I mean, I could name a couple books I've read recently.
But that's not.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Nobody wants. No, but I mean, if it says that, but it's like it's not like I'm going to be like, I love to go. No, I hate fucking hiking. I like to go to spin class. That doesn't involve another person. That involves me.
And that doesn't seem like fun to me.
It's fun by yourself.
Okay.
For workout.
Right. And
it's not. I don't want to go as a team.
I'll tell you what I do for fun. Sarah Colonna turned me on to a show called, we just talked about it earlier, show called Bar Rescue. On Sundays, they've been showing marathons.
Yeah, it's the best.
I literally, 2 Sundays ago, I sat on my couch from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. I didn't fucking move. And that's like...
Did you pee yourself?
There's like paraplegics who move more than that throughout the day.
Did you order food in?
Yes. Yeah, ordered like shitty food. They deliver right to the house.
Grubhub. Do you use Grubhub? Yeah,
I love it.
I love Grubhub.
It's my favorite.
My problem with Grubhub is I know I'm sure that they can tell I live alone because I'm the only one that answers the door.
Yeah.
And I always order because I order a lot of food because I'm like, especially if it's an all-day affair, I'm like, I need lunch and maybe I'm going to have a little left over for dinner if I have no food in the house. So I have to order a lot, and then I have to pretend someone else is there when I answer the door. I'll be right. Oh, I got it.
Oh, my God, that's hilarious.
Because I don't want them to think, that food's just for me.
You know, my all-time favorite Sarah Colonna story is I used to date a roommate of Sarah Colonna's. Her name was Sarah Tilly.
Yep.
And Sarah Colonna called up to order something from an Italian restaurant one time, and they said to her, do you want
the same order as last time? And I had never ordered from there before.
And so you said, well, okay.
I was curious because it meant Sarah Tilly had ordered. Yeah.
What was the order from last time?
They said a 6-pack of Bud Light and a meatball sub.
And if you knew this girl, it's exactly Sarah Tilly. But
guess what? I said, yeah, I'll take that. All right, I think we can go out on. That was a nice story to end on. It's 8:40.
Oh, it is 8:40?
Yeah, I didn't realize it was that late. That was fun. See, it goes by fast.
It does go by fast. Yeah, it's fun to talk about yourself for nonstop.
So, Way Easy Gifts.
Oh, Way Easy Gifts. Yes, everybody. You should have to go to wayeasygifts.com. As you know, it's a friend of Josh's. If you've been listening, she has a website called Way Easy Gifts, WAYEASY gifts.com. And you can go on there, and the gifts are way easy to get, right? We both had a gift certificate for it.
Yeah.
And you used it, right?
Oh, yeah. I got the little clock for myself.
Yeah, they have awesome. Oh,
Way Easy Gifts. Can I plug my shows?
Yeah, we're going to do that after we finish plugging wayeasygifts.com.
Oh, I love Way Easy Gifts. I would go on there.
Yeah, you get a 20% discount if you hit in the promo code OTR.
Right.
And it's awesome. You can get like original gifts for anybody.
You're good at this, Colonna.
Yeah.
You're professional.
No problem. So yeah, don't forget wayeasygifts.com. And yes, Chris, please, where will you be next?
I'll be in Bellevue, Washington, which is close to Seattle, I guess. And it's you're coming.
I'm
right?
not going to be there now this weekend.
Oh,
but,
you fucker!
But John's coming to your show Saturday night.
Good. Yeah,
with a couple people.
So I'll be Bellevue, Washington. I think it's called Parlor. Yeah, Parlor Live. I've been there before. It's a cool spot. And
it's a
come
great
down.
spot.
I'll be there Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Sons of Anarchy after show. Anarchy Afterwards starts September 9th live on FX at 11:40, I believe. So we're gonna have some fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm going to be at the Funny Bone in Omaha, August either 24th through the 26th, I believe it is. So please come out to that. And then right after that, I'll be at Cap City in Austin, September 11th through the 13th.
You're in Austin September 11th? I'm in Dallas September 11th to 13th.
What?
Is that close to each other? I have no idea.
It's like an hour and a half away.
Yeah. I'm in Dallas. I'm at Hyenas.
We might have to have a discussion about meeting up somehow.
Yeah, that'd be good.
And Lee?
No. I mean, if you're interested in hearing Dennis Hoff, if you want to read the menu, which is actually pretty funny.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Number 203 of the Church of What's Happening Now.
Yes. They had the Bunny Ranch guy on. You should look, because this menu is pretty funny. Maybe we'll read it next time. All right. Thanks very much, everybody, and we'll see you next week. Thanks, Chris. That was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. Thank you, Josh, for letting me do this. Bye-bye.
Oh, and watch Shark After Dark.
Oh, yeah,
watch Shark After Dark.
Tonight, live.
Discovery. Yeah, tonight and tomorrow night.
I believe
and
tomorrow
Thursday.
night he has Chelsea Handler as his guest on Thursday night.
She's on Thursday night, yeah. And he has great guests all week, and he's been pulling in huge ratings, so everyone watch it.
Yeah, fun.